In today's video, I'm giving you a full tour of my daily Apple Watch setup, from the health features to the apps I use on my Apple Watch day to day. Whether you just grabbed an Apple Watch or you're trying to decide if it's worth the upgrade, I've got you. The Apple Watch that I'm currently rocking is the Apple Watch Series 9, so any tips and tricks should work on all older Apple Watches if you are up to date with watchOS 11. First, we'll dive into my favorite watch faces and complications that keep me on time and productive. Then I'll break down the apps I can't live without, think camera remote, Apple Podcasts, the Apple Find My app, and many other apps. After that, I'll show you my health and fitness workflow, which I use for running and calisthenics workouts. Finally, I'll wrap up with my top optimization tips and tricks for a distraction-free experience on my Apple Watch and settings so you can make the most out of your Apple Watch. Let's dive into it. Your watch face isn't just for looks, it's your daily command center. A smart setup saves you swipes, taps, and time every time you check your wrist, whether you're going for pure aesthetics or something more functional. Personally, I lean towards practicality with the modular face. It lets me stack up to 6 complications, my activity rings front and center to fuel my perfectionist streak, date and time for quick glances, podcasts for listening without my phone, battery so I don't get caught with a dead watch, wallet for quick payments, and temperature to help me decide if I'm heading outdoors or sticking to the gym. Then there is the infograph, similar in layout but with an analog vibe. It supports up to 8 complications, so I keep it as usual and added a walkie talkie and a shortcut to workouts. For a balance of visuals and function, the solar graph face is slick. It shows a full day timeline from sunrise to sunset with a minimalist graph. I keep it clean with just the battery complication. Flux introduced in watchOS 11 is pure visual rhythm, no ticking hands, just a bar that fills across the face to show seconds, with numerals snapping into place each minute. You can customize the color and numeral style, but no complications here. It's all about motion and minimalism. Contour is a favorite of mine from watchOS 10. It pushes the hour numbers to the edge, with a sweeping minute hand and bold, edge-to-edge typography. I use a flashy colorway and keep it minimal with just the date complication at the bottom. Then there is the Nike Hybrid, a mix of clean visuals and utility. I use it in a bold color setup with battery, rain prediction, temperature, and activity rings. The rest of my face watches, Nike Bounce, Solar Analog, Nike Hybrid, and Nike Digital, rotate in depending on my mood. They are all either visually dope, super practical, or a mix of both. Now, a quick pro tip is if you want a better battery life, go with a dark watch face. OLED screens don't use power on black pixels, so darker faces save energy and look stealthy. Beyond the built-in apps, I lean on a handful of third-party tools that truly unlock the watch's potential. First up, we have Camera Remote that lets me trigger my iPhone and use the watch as a live monitor whenever I'm shooting solo. It's super handy to frame everything properly and even check the photos and videos afterwards, no need to pick up my iPhone. Next, I've got the Podcasts app, which I like to use when I'm walking or doing something that doesn't require much attention. It helps me stay informed and educated without having to read a book or do deep research. I can easily squeeze in tech news between meetings without ever grabbing my phone. Then there is the wallet and my banking apps, KBC and Revolut. I use them to pay, split bills, or check balances in seconds. It's way better than digging out my cards every time. I also keep Slopes and Strava on deck to track runs and ski sessions during winter. Plus, I use Vitals to monitor my sleep and metrics like VO2 max during runs. Even if those aren't super accurate, they are still nice to glance at for general trends. For focus sessions, Pomo Focus lives on both my wrist and iPhone to help me stay in the zone with timed work, sprints, and breaks. Finally, I force quit anything I rarely use, keeping only about 10 to 12 essentials, helps preserve both storage and battery life so I'm never caught off guard with a dead watch or a full memory. Even though I spend a lot of time behind screens editing, filming, and creating, I'm constantly chasing balance, and that's where the Apple Watch Series 9 really steps in. It's not just a tool for managing notifications or setting timers, it's a daily motivator that helps me stay on track with my fitness goals without losing sight of the creative grind. I aim to stay relatively active by challenging myself to close all three activity rings. It gives me that small sense of achievement even on days when I'm not going outside much. For workouts, I switch it up between the built in Workouts app and Strava. One thing you can't do with just the iPhone is track workouts, because it doesn't come with a built in fitness app like the watch does. Strava, on the other hand, works across both and gives me better accuracy for certain metrics like calorie count and step tracking, so I use it to sync all my workouts. Sleep's another big one. I try to use my Apple Watch as much as I can to track my sleep and get more consistent data on how well I'm actually resting. But since I'm a heavy Apple Watch user, I sometimes get caught with not enough battery life to make it through the whole night, which can be frustrating. I also lean on focus modes during workouts with Do Not Disturb turned on so I'm not getting interrupted by messages or alerts mid set. It's a small tweak, but it really helps me stay in the zone. Out of the box settings are fine, but the real power of your Apple Watch shows up when you start exploring some of the hidden features most people don't even know exist. One of my favorites is Taptic Time. If you've got it turned on, there is a hidden shortcut that lets you tell the time without even looking. Just tap the watch face with two fingers, it'll
15:01,
either speak the time out loud or use the
15:01,
haptic taps to give you the digits if you're
15:01.
in silent mode. So if it's 10 p.m., for example, you'll feel one tap for the 1 and nothing for the 0. It's weirdly satisfying and super useful when you're in a situation where glancing at your watch feels rude. Another one I love is the ability to reorder your watch faces without even touching your iPhone. If you've got a ton of faces like I do, just long press the current face, then press and hold again, pinch and drag them in the order you like. It's super simple but easy to miss. And then there is the ping with flash feature. If you've ever misplaced your iPhone and the standard ping sound isn't loud enough, or you're in a dark room, you can just press and hold the ping button on your Apple Watch. Instead of just the usual sound, your iPhone's LED flashlight would start flashing too, making it way easier to spot. That was it for my full rundown of what's on my Apple Watch Series 9. From the watch faces and essential apps to the fitness features and hidden tweaks that keep me both productive and balanced. Let me know in the comments down below which features you are definitely adding to your watch with watchOS 26 coming this fall. That was it for me today, and I will catch y'all in the next video.